Hello guys, just Goran here and welcome back to building the Beekse Bergen. And today we are going to be going over all of the changes that have been added to the zoo in the latest update 11, I guess you could say. To all the people that have been watching all of the live streams that I've been doing over the past month, this may not be the most exciting update for you, as there is not a lot added aside from the things that we did on stream, but other than that I think it is gonna be interesting to go through the zoo just to kind of do that for all the people who haven't been watching the live streams, so that they can have a look at what has been going on in the zoo. So starting off here in the at the entrance, we have some of the new signs that we've been making on stream. Over here there is a little price sign of the Zawadi gift shop. There is some signs reminding people that they need to buy parking tickets before they leave the zoo, and some signs about the wheelchairs and strollers that you can buy here or rent. And as we go into the zoo, there is some new stuff as well, such as a little sign for people who download this zoo that they can find a bunch of information on the workshop page. I noticed that not everyone who visits the zoo reads the workshop page, even though it has some pretty useful information. So hopefully this might get them to do so. So yeah, let's start going through. Now, one of the big things that you may have seen was the playground that we built. Most of this was actually built on stream, which was a lot of fun to do, and it ended up really well. And actually, aside from a couple things, it ended up being a very faithful recreation of the actual playground at the zoo, which is really cool. And in case you didn't know, I made a modular playground set with all the pieces that I built for this playground. You can download that on my workshop page, the link is in the description. And you can use the modular playground set to make your own playgrounds, which should be pretty helpful. Another thing I almost accidentally skipped over is another couple of changes here at the entrance. The main theme of this update is signs, and this is a small part of that as well. Some toilet signs at the toilets here. I can't remember if these custom doors are also new. I think they were already in the last update, but if we move over here, you can also see that I have redone the exterior of the Barabao building over here. It is now made out of temple pieces instead of the mud wall set, which I kind of preferred the look of the mud walls. I'm not gonna be I'm not gonna lie about that. But what's nice about the temple pieces is that I was able to put the windows kind of set into the wall instead of being kind of stuck on top of it, making it a lot more accurate, and it looks a lot better if I am completely honest. We also changed out the fonts for the new 2D fonts that we got in the aquatic update, which just looks a lot better. This side of the building, the fonts are supposed to be a lot smaller, but I think the inaccuracy is worth just how good it looks, so I'm probably just gonna keep it this way. I'm really happy with it. So as we keep going through the zoo, I think I showed this in the last episode as well actually, of course we have a number of animal signs, like the gorillas we just saw, the lions over here. But what I think kind of justified the update 11, like I really had to put it up on the workshop, is the fact that we finished all of the signs. In fact, all the signs that were needed for the part of the zoo that was currently finished are now in. So yeah, that is partially why I wanted to get this update live. Another thing I accidentally almost skipped over, I don't think this was in the last update either, is that we redid the backstage of the lion habitat. So yeah, as we keep moving along the path here, you can see the zebra sign, you can see a blue wildebeest sign, There are a whole bunch of signs all across the zoo, and I'm probably not going to go through all of them because there is a ton, but if you download the zoo, then you will be able to have a look at all of those. Quick side note, something I forgot to mention in this video is that we now have a new version of the zoo online. It is the Light Edition, and what the Light Edition means, if we just scroll down here, it is a version of the zoo made for people who are having trouble running or opening the main zoo file. This version includes no animals, guests or staff, making the park a lot less taxing on your computer. So yeah, if you're one of those people who wanted to explore my zoo but it was just too big for your computer to handle, hopefully this still allows you to enjoy some of the builds, albeit without the life that the guests and animals bring to the zoo. And while we're on the way to the back of the zoo, might as well go past a couple of these signs, like the Springbok sign, which I'm pretty proud of. And we also pass the common eland, the white rhino over here, and one missing sign. There's now a total of 2 missing signs in the zoo. These are animals that I did not have any reference photos of what the signs looked like, because I should mention these signs aren't just random pictures of the animals. These are, to the best I could make it, attempts at recreating the actual sign that you would find in the zoo. So it's the kind of similar, same or at least similar kind of image. And the missing sign over here is that of the blesbok, and we're also missing the kemsbok of the habitat at the beginning of the zoo. Anyway, as we arrive in the back of the zoo past the tiger habitats, we see a new thing that used to be unfinished. It is the hippo aviary. Yeah, this aviary was one of the kind of main unfinished things you would encounter in this area, which kind of now finishes up this area, up until the reptile house at least. There's a couple of minor detail things to do, like the custom curbs along the sand path over here, but other than that, this area is now almost finished, which is really nice. You'll notice that the aviary is currently closed. The reason I did that was that there was no physical way I could make this aviary accessible to the guests of the game. There was no way I could get the pathing to go through here that allowed guests to use this. So that's why I chose to close the aviary, just like it is currently closed due to the corona measures. And also, even before that was a thing, when I was at the zoo for the first time of this project in December of 2019, the aviary was also closed, and I've been told that was due to measures relating to the bird flu. But here on the inside of the aviary viewing area, we've got this super lush aviary, and if you're lucky, oh hey, you can actually spot a peafowl in here. There are a whole bunch of birds in here. I can't name them all from the top of my head, but I put the peafowl in as a African crowned crane, I think is his name. So yeah, that's what he's trying to represent over there. And if we move along the back here, there's another viewing area, which sadly also is closed. There was once again no real way to get the path to work, and I have been yoinked up onto the roof. That is never a good thing. Alright, gotta do without Tedget Cam for a moment, so let's go inside, and yeah, we've got another viewing area, and there's a bunch of these education signs over here. Sadly, I did not have pictures of what they're meant to look like exactly, so that's why they're still blank. But hopefully when I'm at the zoo soon, I'll be able to make some pictures again. But yeah, that is the final aviary of the zoo, which is pretty nice. I'll never have to do the custom netting again, which was kind of a pain every time. But yeah, this is the last aviary. So, and with that done, we get to over here to Congo Square, where again, a bunch of new signs and stuff like that. But the Congo Square is still unfinished. It's a work in progress at the moment. It's what I've been working on lately. But I am kind of lacking some pictures of certain angles, especially this back path over here. I want some more pictures of, which makes it kind of hard to get myself to build in this area. Oh yeah, I shouldn't forget to mention, I put some Nyalas in the back here. These are meant to represent the Nal Leshway that you would normally find in the habitat. They can use the entire habitat, but they usually hang out back here, getting kind of away from the hippos. There is one also roaming free. I didn't put him there, but he's just there. Now, while we're here at the back at the zoo, I might as well show you this. These are the tiger backstage buildings. I forgot to show these in the 1-year anniversary video, so I thought I'd quickly go over them now. But that kind of concludes everything in the update 11. It may not seem like a lot, but it was actually a ton of work. I mean, every sign could take me up to an hour to make. Every little animal sign, and yeah, we made a bunch of them, as you can see over here. Now, these education signs are also available on the workshop. Again, the link is in the description, so if you want to use these in your own zoos, you totally can. And I am planning on making signs for every animal in the game, so yeah, be looking forward to that as well. But it's not just the education side that I have been recreating. We have signs for donations. Every animal has like its own sponsors, and I've been trying to recreate their signs as well, with some of their logos and stuff like that, as well as I could, of course. There are backstage signs, there are directional signs, toilet signs, you name it, we got it. There is so much signage in a zoo, and now that we have the tools to recreate them all, I could not help myself. And I mean, once you do one, you gotta do all of them, right? Like, you can't. But that does conclude all of the updates. So what is up next? Well, as already kind of said, I am kind of running into a lack of pictures in a bunch of areas, which is a bit of a shame because the zoo is closed and I can't just go there whenever I want, which I must say does not really help with the motivation for the project a whole lot. But luckily the sign streams have been a nice kind of distraction from that, because I don't need as much reference to be able to do them, and I can sink a nice amount of time into them. But I am happy to say that I should, if all goes well, I should be able to visit the zoo this Wednesday. I have been invited by the zoo manager to come have a look at what they have been doing since the zoo closed almost 2 months ago at this point. And I could tell that he was trying to kind of brace me for what I was going to see. I feel like there's going to be a lot of changes that I might have to take into account, so who knows, we might not be done with this half of the zoo after all. But for now we are going to be trying to continue working on the next couple of areas. I certainly want to go through, so I hope I'll be able to make some helpful pictures when I'm at the zoo this Wednesday, and that should get me going again. Anyway, I feel like I'm rambling a little bit, so I am going to be wrapping it up. Before I go, I just want to thank everyone once again for 500 subscribers. I'm sorry I haven't really been able to make a special 500 subscriber video. I hope the little cinematics that I uploaded yesterday might suffice to some extent as a special video. It just so happened to be that the entire explosion of my channel with the whole news thing came at the time that I was arguably doing the least interesting thing of the project, which was making all of the signs of the zoo. But in the near future we are definitely going to be working on expansion again and working on the final couple of areas of the zoo, so hopefully that will be a lot more interesting for you If you didn't find the signs interesting, that is. I know a lot of people do. Anyway, that is gonna be it from me today. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you guys in the next live stream video or whatever comes first.